Hello, everyone. This is Morgan Smith, the best, the brightest, the greatest. Anyway, this video is on Rick and Morty, but democracy. Rick and Morty, if you don't know what it is, it's the best TV show ever. Is again an animated TV show on Adult Swim. It is a show about an alcoholic genius named Rick who goes on adventures with his very anxious and very socially awkward grandson named Morty. Together, they take trips across the universe in different dimensions in Rick's flying car. They often find themselves on new planets interacting with aliens, even though technically Rick and Morty are the foreigners in most cases, and many of the time causing shenanigans along the way. Since Rick and Morty involves the interaction of different societies, I will be analyzing an episode and comparing the popular TV series to various topics such as democracy and demagoguery discussed in a reading titled Multitude by Michael Hardt and Antonio Negri, and demonstrating how this seemingly everyday TV show has more philosophical aspects than most people realize. So let's get started. Ew. Okay, so in the episode of ABC's of Beth, it starts with Rick's daughter named Beth, who looks at the news and notices that a man named Joseph Lipkip is scheduled to be executed for eating his son, Thomas Lipkip. Beth starts to reconcile the time that her father Rick made her imaginary world when she was younger called Fruity Land, another one of Rick's many inventions to keep Beth occupied as a kid. She then realizes that there was a time that Tommy, the boy who was allegedly eaten by his father, got lost while playing in Fruity Land with her and worries that he was not eaten but instead trapped there for all those years. To investigate, Rick and Beth go on an adventure back to Fruity Land. Soon after arriving, Rick discovers that life has been created after he's attacked by a gigantic bird, who notices that the creature's DNA also has human DNA in it as well. Noticing this, and this is where it gets weird, I'm sorry, but Beth and Rick theorize that Tommy had intercourse with these creatures of Fruity Land in order to produce children which would worship Tommy and eventually be eaten by him to sustain himself.
Carbons all gummed up and mixed in with real human DNA.
Are you saying Tommy survived here by having sex with fruity creatures, creating fruity human hybrid offspring, and then consuming their proteins, sustaining himself with an endless cycle of cannibalistic incest?
It's just a working theory. Of course, if that's the case, I expect he'd be worshipped as a kind of god by a medieval level society of his least delicious children.
Halt! You are now prisoners of our exalted ruler, giver and taker of life, helper and consumer of mortality, dispenser
Guys,
of
if I
life.
can interrupt, we're way ahead of the reveal here.
Yeah, just take us to King Tommy.
They find their prediction to be correct as they were captured by Tommy's children, which are just basically a hybrid of human and Fruity Land creatures, and taken to Tommy himself. They learn that Tommy is in fact a de facto leader of Fruity Land, who involves himself with incest and cannibalism by eating his children for food, as suspected by Beth and Rick. Okay, before you say, Morgan, this is weird, what does this have to do with philosophy? What does this have to do with democracy? What does this have to do with anything? I got you, and I'm glad that you asked. In this episode, Fruity Land is clearly an autocracy society ran by Tommy. The idea of autocracy, according to Hardt and Negri, states, quote, the mandate of political thought that only the one can rule undermines and negates the concept of democracy. Because there is only one ruler, the Tommy's children, the hybrids, basically in this video, have no input in any rulemaking, which is a huge interference with democracy. Demagoguery, a political activity or practices that seek support by appealing to the desires and prejudices of ordinary people rather than by using rational argument, is also clearly seen in this episode as Tommy takes advantage of the fact that since he created these hybrid creatures, he has every right of telling them what to do, including making them think it's okay for Tommy to eat them and procreate with them. But how has this society even able to run smoothly? I mean, technically it is running smoothly. The Tommy's children are just listening to Tommy and worshiping everything he does.
All kneel for King Tommy!
I'm not kneeling. Suck my dick.
Well, hello, all. I am the king of Fruppyland, but I go by another name, too.
We know.
It's Tommy.
We know.
We know.
I have lived here since I was a mere child.
We know.
Got it.
I suppose you're wondering, how do I sustain myself?
Oh,
No,
boy.
we aren't.
Well, according to Harda and Negri again, quote, the networks of social production, in other words, provide an institutional logic capable of sustaining a new society. This means that having structure, or even in this episode's case, a clear hierarchy of who's in charge and who's not, is a huge reason why the society of Fruppyland was able to last. Without the guidance of their ruler, the hybrid creatures would be clueless on how to act. An octopus with no head. Well, that is it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't know why I'm saying this. But Professor Aarons, I hope I didn't creep you out too much. And yeah, have a great day, everyone. Bye. And I hope you learned a thing or two about philosophy and demagoguery and democracy and all that good jazz. Okay, bye.